Hey everybody, it's Chris Loud. Today I'm doing a demo of an abstract painting based on this photo where I create a unique composition that utilizes some of the elements of the scene in a more abstract and expressive way, mainly the mountains and houses. So here's a close-up of the area I was primarily exploring, and here are a couple of fast and rough sketches I used to play with composition. This is a 15-minute warm-up painting done in my sketchbook, and I created the background by spreading some paint that was left over on my palette with a 2.5-inch brayer. I'm painting this on watercolor paper that you can see has a little texture to it, which I don't always like that texture. I try and paint over it a lot of times. But in this painting, I really liked how it looked in some of the areas, and I think it really worked with this painting. So I did use a hairdryer a few times to dry this in between layers, and I cut those parts out so you didn't get bored watching me blow dry a painting. I'm adding some cadmium orange now just to get a little bit more variety of color in that background, and I'm spreading that around with a wet paper towel. And now I'm bringing a charcoal pencil in to start getting a little bit of sketch down. So with the houses, I wanted to try and combine that with the mountain. So that's where I've got these shapes in there, and I think overall it worked out how I was hoping. My original intent was to actually put actual shapes of houses in there, but I thought that was going to be a little bit too much, a little too representational. So I decided to vary those shapes a little bit, but still kind of go with more of a rectangular and boxy shapes. For the I guess sky area, if you want to call it that, I'm putting in some cadmium orange, pyrrole red, and alizarin crimson, and then I just added a little bit of white, titanium white to that. And for the base of the lower half, I'm using Prussian blue. So the colors I'm using on this are cadmium orange, alizarin crimson, pyrrole red, hooker's green, bright aqua green, Prussian blue, titanium white, and then the colors that I used from my palette that were left over were yellow ochre, lime green, and burnt sienna. And then at this stage, I'm just starting to put some colors down and fill in some of these blocks. There I have a little bit of that hooker's green with mixed with white, titanium white, and then the rest of this I'm really just starting to kind of play and do a little bit of mixing with some of the Prussian blue and white and some of the greens. The one color that I think really stood out to me that almost didn't seem like it belonged was the bright aqua green. It's kind of more of a pastel color, one that I got. It's an inexpensive tube of paint that I picked up and thought I would play with along with some other pastel colors, and that's where I'm really trying to find places to try it out, and I thought this was a good opportunity. So there I put it down, and I actually think it's really does work with the rest of this painting. But I really wanted to just get a mix of colors down in these shapes and do a little bit of blending. A lot of the blending I was doing was just right there on the paper, just to get some variety of looks in color and values, as well as kind of the patterns of some of those. So you can see the one off to the left there, more of the blocky shape near the top. I really didn't blend those colors very well, but I really like that look, kind of some striations in that paint. And then I brought down a little pyrrole red and cadmium orange to some of the lower blocks, just to get a little bit of harmony with the red at the top. Now there's a point in here where I do a little bit of outlines around some of these shapes with a white wax pastel, water-soluble wax pastel. And I'll be really curious to hear in the comments if you liked it better without that or with it. I'm still torn on that. So I've not even pulled the tape off of this officially yet, because I want to sit on it for a couple days and look at it and see if that's something I want to do. But this is really kind of what it looks like without the border, and I like that look. I think that looked good. You can see the mid section, the very top, still is just the background color. I didn't put anything into that one block next to the bright aqua green. And here I'm putting in the white wax pastel. The nice thing about these wax pastels is that I can, if I decide I don't like that, one, I could paint over it, but the easier thing is just to get a wet paper towel and I can wipe that away. So I'm just putting down a mat a few times to kind of see how it's looking, see if I want to do anything. And I really thought I needed to soften some of those edges, so I'm pulling in a small wet filbert brush and trying to soften up some of those edges a little bit. And that 2.5-inch brayer, I've been starting to use it a lot more on these warm-up paintings, because it's it's really kind of becoming a go-to tool for me with these, because you can get a background down so quickly that it's just very efficient. It's kind of saves you a little bit of time on these timed warm-ups. So let me know if you have any tools that you use quite often that are kind of your go-to tools. I mean, I've gone through little kind of phases where I was using the fine tip applicator quite a bit, and I don't use that quite as much anymore. And I know that the catalyst wedge is one that I've used quite often, but this brayer is really kind of a nice and efficient tool, I think. So here I'm just wetting those and starting to wipe a little bit of that wax pastel away, and kind of cleaning up a few of the edges here. If you like this, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel and want to see more of these, feel free to subscribe. So now I'm really getting that mat down and just kind of turning it around, taking a look at it and seeing how that looks. And I'll show you the painting here without the mat, and I'll compare it to the painting before I put the white borders around, so you can kind of compare the two. But I'd be really interested to see what you all think. Like I said, I'm still kind of torn on it, but there's some different orientations, and there it is without the white, and there it is with the white. And at this point, I'm thinking I actually like it better without the white. But thanks for watching, and keep on painting.